Hey, what's up, guys? It is Mr. Hardy here, and welcome to our very first lecture for Health 10. How this is going to work a little bit, give you an overview of what this class is going to look like for the foreseeable future, right? So we're going to be in Google Classroom. That's something that is going to be pretty common from class to class. And for health class, typically what our week is going to look like is we'll have at least 2 lectures, at most 3, right? Where it's going to be me looking at some of the PowerPoints, maybe just talking about something for 5 to 10 minutes. With those lectures, to make sure that you're watching them and taking in the information, there will be a little 5-question quiz for each one. You can have that open while you're watching this video. Boom, 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 easy 5 points, get the answers in there. Make sure that you're paying attention. Typically on Friday, we will have some sort of summary assignment due for what we've been talking about for the week. So whether, this week we're talking about vitamins, minerals, things like that, so there'll be an assignment that'll do Friday. You can find that in the assignment log. There'll be 2 lectures this week in the assignment log as well, one for this one for the next one. And like I said, for each of those, there'll be a quiz. So we're not looking at a ton of time, maybe an hour on health for the first week. And that's pretty standard for what it's going to look like going forward here, right? I know that you got super important, math, English, that they're going to probably load you up with some homework. So I want to make sure that, this is important for you, that you're paying attention, that I'm giving you vital information, and that I'm not wasting your time. So with that being said, let's get into it. I'm going to show you quick here what that quiz will look like. Okay, this is in your Google Classroom. When you go into your classwork, it's just going to pop right up. There is 5 super easy questions. Each is worth a point, a true, false, 2 check boxes, 1 multiple choice, and a short answer. Again, while I'm talking, all you got to do is make sure that you are paying attention and fill those out, and you are good to go. All right. So let's get into it this week. I believe we left off last week with talking about vitamins. All right. So vitamins are substances that facilitate, they don't necessarily cause a variety of biological processes. So these are things that you need in your body to help you do some of these biological processes, whether it's digestion, stuff with your blood, things like that. They're not like building blocks of tissue, so they're not necessarily like proteins and amino acids. They don't provide any sort of calories, and you have to get them from food. Okay, so you say, well, what about a multivitamin? Yes, that is technically food, right? But it's not necessarily how we want to get our vitamins. Ideally, we would get all of our vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals from the food that we eat. Now, multivitamins are a very good way to make sure that you're getting them all, because again, we don't always eat that great, right? So if you do take a multivitamin, great. All right. They make the gummies now. They're tasty. They don't taste bad. I know growing up, I always took the Flintstones. I don't know if you guys have done that too, but I love those little Flintstone vitamins when I was growing up. So there's 2 types of vitamins, and this is really important. All right. There are water soluble vitamins and fat soluble vitamins. So as you guys probably know, water soluble means that they dissolve in water. Fat soluble vitamins dissolve in fat, and we can actually store these vitamins for a long period of time. So A, D, E, and K are those fat soluble vitamins, and water soluble vitamins are things like vitamin C and B. Antioxidants. So these are some substances that can inhibit the oxidation of free radicals. These are good for you. I'm not going to really get into how important they are. It's a whole nother topic, but these antioxidants are vitamins A, C, and E. And again, very, very good for you and good for your immune system. They're good for people who are fighting viruses like right now and all that stuff. So that's why, like, if your grandma, I don't know, my grandma, she always tell me to drink orange juice if you're sick, right? That's where you're getting those vitamins A, C, and E. If you're drinking Gatorade when you're sick, things like that, you're getting a lot of those antioxidants into your system. So homocysteine, so this is a substance derived from the essential amino acid methionine. And high levels increase the risk of coronary artery disease and a heart attack. Folic acid helps lower your manufacture of that homocysteine. So homocysteine is something that you get in your body from the foods that you eat, and that's why folic acid is important. It's another type of vitamin that helps to lower your manufacture of homocysteine. So you might see people taking like folic acid substances, especially adults who maybe have heart conditions. That's why. All right. Minerals are similar to vitamins, but a little bit different. So these are inorganic substances that assist in the function of your body. So found in almost all of your food. Typically, though, we find them in vegetables, okay? Two important ones that we really are deficient in are iron and calcium. I think we talked a little bit about being deficient in iron, right? We see a lot of females deficient in iron because they don't eat enough red meat, right? Calcium, we see lots of people deficient in calcium as well, especially young kids because they don't drink enough milk or eat enough cheese, enough dairy products. Another sort of female mineral issue we see, it's called osteoporosis. When people get older, their bones start to actually get like holes in them. And that's because of lack of calcium throughout their lives. And again, unfortunately, that affects women more than men. So those are two important ones that we were actually deficient in, and really the only two that I think you need to pay attention to in terms of getting more of. The one that you need to pay attention to that you need to get less of, though, is sodium. We eat way too much sodium, and we're going to see here when we start to track our food in a little bit that our sodium is going to be through the roof. All right. And that's because of all the processed foods that we eat. So you eat anything that comes out of a can, comes in a bag, in your freezer, has a long shelf life in your fridge. Typically, it's got lots of sodium in it, right? And the reason being is that sodium helps to prolong the shelf life of food. It makes it last longer. And salt tastes good. All right. High sodium intake can contribute to high blood pressure, which in turn can lead to heart disease and things like that. So we eat way too much sodium. We'll talk about that here in a second. Some of the essential minerals that we have, calcium, chlorine, chromium, cobalt, like I said, the two that we need to worry about are iron and calcium and sodium. You need to get more iron and calcium, and you need to get less sodium. You're not looking to see, okay, where do I get more iodine, right? And we can see that, some of the primary sources. So like, let's say, all right, calcium. We need calcium for bone and tooth formation, blood clotting, and nerve transmission. All pretty important things. You can find it in milk, cheese, dark green vegetables, and beans, legumes. All right. What does the deficiency in calcium result in? Stunted growth, rickets, which we haven't heard from in a long time, osteoporosis, convulsions, right? So we need that, right? So what about sodium? Acid-base balance. We need body water balance, nerve function. Another primary source, again, is common salt. If you don't have enough sodium, that's muscle cramps, mental apathy, reduced appetite. If you have a Gatorade at home, okay, or a Powerade or some sort of sports drink like that, if you look on the back, you're going to see that it has a ton of sodium in the nutrition label, all right? And the reason being is that sodium can help with muscle cramps, all right? So if you really work out a ton, when you sweat, right, you lose sodium through your skin. Okay. And you can actually, like, if you like run a marathon in the summer or do like some sort of crazy like endurance activity in the summer in the heat, you're going to sweat a ton. And actually what you can find is that like you can scrape your arm and get the sodium off. Like, and you can lick it. I mean, I'm not suggesting to lick it, but it tastes like salt. So you'll see drinks like that have a lot of sodium in it. But again, with our normal diet, what we eat, we get way too much sodium. Iron, we need for the constituent of hemoglobin and enzyme. That hemoglobin is part of your blood. That's why if you don't have enough iron, your blood doesn't clot as well. And that's why you can't donate blood. So you can find it in eggs, lean meats, legumes, whole grains, green leafy vegetables, iron deficiency like anemia, weakness, reduced resistance to infection. So again, we're talking about COVID-19, you need more iron in your diet. So be eating those lean meats and green leafy vegetables. So talking a little bit about salt, adults need about 3 grams of dietary salt per day. The recommended upper limit is 5.8 for those under 40 and 3.8 for those who are over 40 or African-American. 75% of our salt comes from manufactured, processed, or fast foods. What you're going to find when we start to look at what we eat is that like we are way over that recommended upper limit of salt, and we are way over it, especially when we eat fast foods. All right. Phytochemicals, okay? These are non-nutrients which come from plants that positively affect our physiology. They help destroy and eliminate toxins that we acquire from the environment. So maybe, let me see here. Flavonoids are maybe one that you've heard of before. Capsaicin that you get from chili peppers. But there are tons of different phytochemicals, and if you look at the list here, you can see that they come in food that is typically considered healthy for you. So like blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, they all contain anthocyanidins and ellagic acid, which are antioxidants. They help prevent cancer. Chili peppers, capsaicin, possible antioxidant, and can help with like topical pain relief. Broccoli, kale, cauliflower, they got all these good things in them that have like anti-cancer properties, reduce risk of heart disease. So these phytochemicals are important things. And again, they come in fruits and vegetables. And that's, again, why you should be eating more fruits and vegetables than you currently are. And finally, the seventh component of food is water. All right. Essential nutrient, major component of our cells and bloods. You want 8 glasses of water per day. All right. That is the recommendation. Now, you could drink 10, you could drink 4, but our recommendation is that you drink 8 glasses of water per day. Does that mean that you have to drink specifically water? Well, technically, but we don't mind, you know, like we've talked about in class before, like my coffee, this is water, right? It's made into coffee and it has caffeine and other things in it, but it is water. So ideally you drink about 8 glasses of water per day, but let's say you drink 6 glasses of water and a cup of coffee and a Gatorade. Well, I would count that towards your 8 glasses of water per day. Inadequate levels of body water can lead to dehydration, thirst. Excess levels of body water can lead to increased hormone stimulation in the kidneys, which is why when you drink so much water, you really have to pee. So when we talk next time, we're going to talk about dietary supplements. But again, fill out that quiz. Submit it, right? You have, so today is Monday, you have until Friday to submit that quiz that's attached to this video. All right. 5 questions, super easy. You already watched it. Go back. If you have to slide through, whatever, get it in there, get it done. And then next time we're going to talk about dietary supplements and the assignment that we'll have that's due for Friday as well. All right. Have a great day, guys.